Most programming books are a complete waste of time. I know, controversial, but hear me out. I've bought way too many books, whether it's for data structures and algorithms, AI, system design, or problem solving that either sat on my shelf collecting dust, walked me through examples I never used in a real project, or taught me things that completely fell apart the moment I tried to build something from scratch. However, there are a handful of books that genuinely changed how I think about programming. Hi friends, I'm Maddie. I'm a senior software engineer who previously worked at Google, Internet, other big tech companies like Amazon, IBM, and Microsoft. And after years of reading technical books, building systems, and honestly, wasting a lot of money on stuff that didn't help, I've narrowed it down to the resources that actually matter. Today, I'm sharing the books that I genuinely recommend for software engineers at any level. We're covering everything from understanding how computers actually work, to landing your first job, to building systems at scale, to navigating the AI landscape. I'll tell you exactly who each book is for and when in your career you should read it. Let's get into it. If you're just starting out, the biggest mistake that I see people make is picking a book that's either too theoretical or too shallow. You end up learning syntax but never building anything real. Python Crash Course by Eric Mathis fixed this problem. This book is split into two parts. Part 1 teaches you the fundamentals of Python, but it doesn't linger. It gives you exactly what you need, and then we can move on. Part 2 is where it gets really good. You're building actual projects, a Space Invader style game, data visualizations, and a full web app using Django. The reason that this approach works is because programming only clicks when you're building things. Reading about for loops is one thing, but using them to make a spaceship shoot aliens, that's where it sticks. If you're a beginner or learning Python is only your second language, this is where I'd start. It respects your time and gets you the fun part fast. Once you're comfortable writing code, there's still a weird gap that happens. You can build things that work, but you don't really understand why they work. You don't know what's happening underneath the hood. And that's fine until you hit a performance issue or a weird bug that makes absolutely no sense. Computer Systems: A Programmer's Perspective is the book that closes this gap. This is the undergraduate systems textbook used at Stanford and Carnegie Mellon. It covers everything from how data is represented in memory, to how your code gets compiled into machine instructions, to how the operating system manages processes. I'll be honest, this one is not a casual read, but the payoff is huge. After going through this, you'll understand why certain code is slow, what cache misses actually mean, and why one misplaced pointer can crash your entire program. You stop treating the computer like a magic box and start understanding the machine you're building on. For anyone serious about backend engineering or systems work, this one is essential. Now, all this knowledge is great, but at some point you actually need to land the job. And like it or not, technical interviews are still the gatekeepers. Cracking the Coding Interview by Gail McDowell is the book that's helped more people land software engineering jobs than probably any other resource out there. Gail worked at Google, Microsoft, and Apple, and she's interviewed hundreds of candidates. This book breaks down exactly how tech interviews work and what interviewers are actually looking for. It's not just about getting the right answer, but it's about how you communicate your thought process, how you handle hints, and how you optimize your solution. The core of this book is 189 programming problems covering data structures, algorithms, system design, and behavioral questions. But this one is really valuable not just because of the problems. It's the explanations of how to approach each type of problem. So once you start understanding the patterns, you start recognizing them everywhere. For this book, you're not going to want to read it passively. You're going to want to actually work through the problems with a whiteboard or notebook, struggle with them, and then check your solutions. If you're actively job hunting or planning to be there soon, then this should be on your desk. Now, if I could only recommend one book to mid-level and senior engineers, it would be Designing Data-Intensive Applications by Martin Kleppmann. I genuinely think that every software engineer should read this at some point. The thing about modern software is that almost everything is data-intensive now. You're dealing with databases, caches, message queues, distributed systems, and there are so many tools out there. Postgres, MongoDB, Redis, Kafka, each with their own trade-offs. Kleppmann's book is like having a guide who actually explains when to use what and why. It's divided into 3 parts: foundations of data structures, distributed data, and derived data like batch and stream processing. But this book is quite special because it doesn't just tell you how things work, but it actually explains the trade-offs. So why would you choose eventual consistency over a strong consistency? What happens when a network partition occurs? Why should you use Kafka versus a traditional database? Microsoft CTO called this book required reading for software engineers. It bridges the gap between academic distributed systems theory and practical engineering in a way that no other book does. The concepts here, like understanding how different storage engines work or what happens during replication lab, aren't things that go out of date. A second edition actually just came out in 2026, so it's more relevant than ever. If you're preparing for system design interviews, this will absolutely help. But more importantly, it'll make you a better engineer in your day-to-day work. you'll start seeing systems differently. So now we've covered understanding computers and understanding data systems. But what about writing code that's actually maintainable? This is where A Philosophy of Software Design by John Osterhout comes in. This book is short, it's only about 180 pages, but it's packed with ideas that will change how you think about code. The central concept is this: your job as a software engineer is to manage complexity. And the author introduces this idea of deep versus shallow modules that I think about constantly now. A deep module is one with a simple interface but complex implementation. Think about Linux file I/O. You have 5 functions: open, read, write, seek, close. But behind that simple interface is tens of thousands of lines of code handling file systems, permissions, caching, concurrent access. That is deep. The complexity is hidden behind something simple. On the other hand, a shallow module is the opposite. Complex interface, not much functionality. It doesn't hide complexity and just spreads it around. The author argues that a lot of common advice like keep methods short or every class should be small actually leads to shallow modules that make systems harder to understand. What I appreciate about this is that it challenges conventional wisdom with actual reasoning. It gave me vocabulary to articulate design decisions and code reviews. If you've ever struggled to explain why one system feels cleaner than another, then this book will help. Now let's talk about AI, because whether we like it or not, it's everywhere and it's changing what it means to be a software engineer. AI Engineering by Chip Huyen is the book that I wished existed when I was a student. Chip taught machine learning system design at Stanford and has worked at NVIDIA and Snorkel AI. What makes this book different is that it's not just about training models from scratch, it's about building applications with foundational models like GPT or Claude, the stuff that a lot of us are doing at work now. It covers concepts like prompt engineering, RAG architectures, fine-tuning, evaluation frameworks, and the important stuff that separates demos from production, like guardrails, safety, and iteration loops. The AI space moves fast, and some specifics will change, but the frameworks that Chip presents for thinking about these problems will stay relevant. If you're building anything that touches AI, and at this point who hasn't, this is the practical guide you need. I'd say that if you read only one AI book in 2026, make it this one. And last but not least, I couldn't make this list without The Pragmatic Programmer by Dave Thomas and Andy Hunt. This book has been around for decades, but the advice holds up remarkably well. It's less about specific technologies and more about the mindset and habits of effective software engineers. Taking ownership of your code, automating repetitive tasks, not programming by coincidence, understanding the tools you'll use. It covers debugging, testing, estimation, and working effectively with a team. The Pragmatic Programmer is written as a collection of tips you can dip into rather than reading cover to cover. And because it focuses on principles rather than the specific frameworks, everything in it is still applicable today. If you want to level up your craft as a whole, then this is the book. So conclusion, the list of books that I recommend software engineers to read are Python Crash Course for Beginners, Computer Systems to Understand Your Actual Machine, Cracking the Coding Interview to Land the Job, Designing Data-Intensive Applications for Systems Thinking at Scale, A Philosophy of Software Design for Writing Maintainable Code, AI Engineering for Building with Foundational Models, and The Pragmatic Programmer for the mindset and habits that tie everything together. And that's all I have for you in this video. If you found it helpful, please hit that like button, hype the video, and subscribe for more tech, career, software engineering, and AI videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.